This is it for $50,000. They scream through the tri-oval. They head down that 1,800-foot straightaway. Back on that 31-degree banking another time.
There's Bodine coming down on the inside. That's going to hurt Cale's chances, but Cale's able to pull away as they come off of turn 2. Now he'll try to make his shot down the backstretch, but Bonnet's going to be trying to do the same thing. Who will prevail?
Has Baker tried to save anything? Here's Bonnet coming to the inside. 3 wide behind them. Bonnet going to the inside. Cale Yarborough comes through. Baker falls to third.
Baker was a sitting duck, no question about it. He knew it. There was nothing he could do about it other than to try to draft back past him.
All right, keep your eye on number 28, Cale Yarborough, who's qualified for Daytona 500 at 201 miles an hour. He's got 1 shot left. Here they come to the line. Yarborough on the inside. Bonnet throws the block. Give it to Bonnet. 2 years in a row, he wins the Clash.
The first driver to ever do so.
NASCAR now uses was employed a year ago for this event, and the photo finish camera is ready again at Michigan International Speedway to capture the close of this race. Richard Petty and Bobby Allison are now nose to tail on the racetrack. Richard Petty looking for a way around, moves to the high side of the racetrack. Now the cars sweep off of turn number 2. They enter the backstretch for the final time at Michigan International in the Champions Park Plug 4, and Bobby Allison moves to the inside, and Richard Petty to the outside. I thought that Allison was slowing, but he was only getting out of the draft. It's Bobby Allison and Richard Petty fighting side by side and nose to tail through turns 3 and 4. Petty lagging back just a little bit. Let's watch the move that Richard Petty makes off the tri-oval, into the tri-oval off the 4th turn. His car wiggles a little bit. It's going to be Bobby Allison winning the Champions Spark Plug 400. But it's almost a side-by-side finish with Richard Petty. Another great finish in
the Clash of 82. Bobby Allison, the leader of the Alabama gang, takes the white flag. Bonnet stays right there in second. Labonte is in third. Waltrip is in fourth. Back they go to turn number 1. How about it, Richard?
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be real interesting about halfway down the backstretch, and right now it's still anybody's race. The first 3, it's going to be hard for the 4 on back to even come up to the front.
Real interesting it will be. This is the final lap. $50,000 at stake to win it down to the inside. Here comes Bonnet. Bonnet moving in.
Hey, I don't know if he can make it.
Labonte's in a good position right now. The top row's the way to go.
And number 11, Waltrip gets down on the inside. He may come even across the grass. We've seen in pull maneuvers like that. Down they come for the finish. Here comes Waltrip. Look at him come up the inside. He hits Bonnet at the line. Car number 88, Bobby Allison, has won the Clash. Second place. It's the start-finish line of the Daytona Speedway. Down they come. There it is. 1 more lap, and somebody will be in clover, and the others can just get ready for next Sunday's Daytona 500. Earnhardt pulling up. Will he take a shot? Waltrip seems to have some power here. Look at him pull away.
Buddy Baker down on the inside there, trying to get around Neil Bonnet. Didn't work that time.
Earnhardt moves in.
This is going to be a heart stopper. Dale Earnhardt coming up to the outside.
Pulls by. Earnhardt takes the lead. Waltrip back to second. Last lap. Bobby Allison goes high. Neil Bonnet comes low. Earnhardt pulls away. 3 cars side by side in the banking. Down into turn number 4. Earnhardt with tremendous power. Look at that precision driving right to the line. Here comes Bonnet trying to close. Earnhardt will win it. Dale Earnhardt in the Osterlund car. Rod Osterlund's automobile has won the Clash of 1980.
Here before, though, and you've had him in front of you before, haven't you?
We sure have. We've run a bunch of races back home and modified races, and just thank God this one come out right.
Was he blocking you toward the end of the race, or is that legal in what we're doing here?
Well, I guess it is legal. When I tried to pass him with about 10 to go, he blocked me, so I figured I'd just return the favor.
Very happy Ronnie Bouchard here in Victory Lane, hugging a bottle of champagne. His car owners, his crew, they're all behind him. This is a very, very happy moment. They certainly needed this win.
And our congratulations to Ron Bouchard, and our thanks to Dick Berggren for his coverage of the pit area, and to Benny Parsons, who had the color commentary for us this afternoon from the booth. The Dixie Cup 200.
Think about where he's going to make his move, and then he's going to probably honk Rusty Wallace as they come out of turn 2. Let's keep our eyes on this race to the finish as they head for the checkered flag hill. Well, he stood on it that time. You could see him move up visibly closer going into the first corner. But Rusty now driving with a rearview mirror. Notice him cut down, not allowing Darrell a lane to get around. This time Darrell's going high over in the third turn. Rusty goes high to block his path. Bill, take him to the finish. He was very loose through turn 4. Fishtailing the car. He comes to the stripe, and Darrell Waltrip makes a move. Darrell actually bumped the rear bumper on the Rusty Wallace car.
Squeeze through. That's Tommy Gale, I think, in that. White flag, 1 lap to go. Tommy Gale overlapped back into turn number 1, and now is the time for the maneuver. Kyle Petty, the first move, down to the inside in turn number 1. Kyle Petty drives inside of Buddy Baker. Baker on the high side, Kyle Petty dropping back. Does Boyd have enough? Petty, stay there. No time to really get the car massaged and ready for this race. Car that's almost fresh out of the box, but it has the master. Now Earnhardt makes his move going to turn 3. Baker comes with him. Earnhardt into first, Baker into second, Boyd dropping to third. Around they come through 3. Boyd way high on the track. Down to the inside. Under A.J. Boyd, moving up is Kyle Petty. Here they come, pounding for the finish. And Kyle Petty leans on A.J. Boyd. Here comes Baker to the outside. Winner's going to be Earnhardt. Have done it. Come up high so it doesn't tighten up too much as he comes into the triangle for the last time. This will be the 1 lap to go. The white flag is out. The man that could be in control here is Cale Yarborough. He can take his shot. Where will he want it to and how will he run it? When Terry Labonte came from third, Waltrip was moved up when Bonnet took the lead, and Waltrip in the clash gave Terry Labonte nothing but the concrete on the outside of 3 and 4. Last time, down into 3. This is where Bonnet likes to make his move. He stirs up his fortitude, and he makes the dive to the inside. Bonnet finds the hole. He goes into first place. At nearly 200 miles an hour, they take that shot. Neil Bonnet is in front. Richard Petty is in second. Cale Yarborough is in third. Here they come to the line. Richard Petty is coming back on the outside. It is Yarborough on the inside, but the winner is Bonnet. Just at the end, Bobby Hillin spun just at the end of the event.
He gets a very smooth start. Parsons in third. Going fourth is Baker. Boyd is in fifth. Labonte jumps to the inside. Labonte trying to pick up some spots as they hurdle down into turn number 1. Waltrip pulling away. Here comes Parsons down the inside. Petty falling to third. Baker in fourth.
A.J. Foyt and Terry Labonte, the Texans, side by side as they go down that back straight. And look at that, Labonte sliding up into 4th spot.
Photo finish camera is in position. Here they come for the finish. Petty on the high side. Petty Parsons is out in front. This is it. Racing from the world center of speed down the line, throwing a block is Parsons. He tries to hold off Baker. They're coming across. Waltrip does it on the inside. Waltrip went down to the grass, right down to the apron, and made a move to take it all.
Very soon, and making sure that there's no room for Yarborough.
Here we go, the white flag, 1 lap to go on the Rebel 500 with Dale Earnhardt, the 1980 Grand National Champion. The man who has led for almost the entire second half of this race. His car has run extremely well all day. Cale Yarborough, a masterful performance today. No matter what happens to Cale, that car not aerodynamically sound. It is not handled 100%, and yet Cale is still right there. However, unable to pick up any ground. It is Earnhardt cruising along as they'll come out of turn number 4. One last gasp now for Cale Yarborough as he tries to go to the inside, but he cannot get him. Cale Yarborough going well down.
The white flag to Bill Elliott and Richard Petty. This is the final lap at Rockingham, less than a mile to go. Richard Petty is the leader. Bill Elliott right behind him. They're out of the second turn now down the backstretch. Bill Elliott is going to have to make his move. There is a lot of traffic ahead of them as they go into the 3rd and 4th turns now. Here they come toward the 4th turn, and the start-finish line coming up. Bill Elliott will make one desperate attempt as he goes to the inside. Richard Petty holds him off, and Richard Petty picks up a victory at Rockingham, North Carolina Motor Speedway.
Coming down out of turn number 4, the white flag is extended. Waltrip is in front, Baker is in second, and here comes Cale Yarborough on the outside. Yarborough beginning to roll. Remember those great Talladega finishes time after time. Remember the very first race, 1969, it was about 3 feet that decided it. They switch and slide, moving for spots. Terry Labonte stays right in the middle. Yarborough almost touches him. 4 deep and pulling away as they get side by side. 2 automobiles. Baker and Waltrip get a little bit of breathing room. Petty goes into 3rd spot. Here they come. Last time to 3 and 4. Baker in that 2nd spot. Waltrip in the lead. Can he stay there? Down they come. Crowd is up. 92,000 strong. Charging toward the finish line. Waltrip is there. Here comes Baker's move. They're 600 feet away from the line. Baker goes to the inside. Waltrip has won it. Darrell Waltrip has pulled it off.
Harold Kinder. He's about to indicate 1 lap to go. Went Waltrip, then he came high around a lap car going to turn number 1. It is Waltrip for the advantage by 1, 2 car lengths. Waltrip seems to draw away in turn number 1 on the 33-degree banking at the west end of the track for the last time. Down they go into the back straightaway. Last time down that 3,000-foot chute. Labonte goes right back up on the rear bucket. Moving down the inside. Number 3, Waltrip seems to be holding the position. 90,000 people on their feet, screaming, cheering as the field comes out of turn number 4. Down they come. Waltrip still with a slim advantage. Now to the outside goes Labonte. As the flyover, Labonte is going for the lead. Bouchard comes up the inside. 3 cars side by side. Who forced the call? But I believe that Ron
in just 1 lap through the trioval area and heading for Harold Kinder's white flag. Dale Earnhardt, where do you want to be on this lap?
Well, I don't really want to be leading it, but I like to have a, being second or third, have a good shot at running at the lead.
Earnhardt has a great shot out of turn number 2. Heading into the backstretch, 3,400 feet of runway for Earnhardt to work the draft with slow car ahead. Buddy Arrington is in the low groove. Earnhardt cannot move down and slingshot on the inside. He looks. Not enough room. Baker holds him off, forms the box around Arrington, and Earnhardt has to rethink his strategy. That was the primary passing point. Here they come, pounding out of turn 4. The fans are on their feet. Last time by and into the tricky travel. Earnhardt faints high and goes low, right to the bottom of the racetrack, onto the track apron. Earnhardt draws closer, ever closer, but Baker will win the race by 3.
Drivers exchanged the lead 7 times in the final 22 laps. Allison, then Lake Speed, Earnhardt, Allison, Waltrip. The last lap, Waltrip leads. Allison charges in turn 3. They brush. Speed moves up in 4, and all 3 hurtle down the trioval. The crowd roars. Allison and Waltrip bash together. It's Allison by a foot, Waltrip second, Lake Speed third, and a record 87,000 spectators lose control, breaking.
They almost hit again, coming off the corner. White flag. Last lap to go. And that would have been a photo finish. It's Gann in front. No, it's Elliott coming back at him on the inside.
Yes, got the run in down the back straightaway. It looks like Harry's got it.
Gann uses all that power and takes the car into turn 3. He leaves half a lane for Elliott on the bottom of the racetrack. Out of turn 4. Elliott's got the room, and he's coming, and he beats Gann to the line. I don't believe that, Mike.
Allison fifth, battle for the lead. Tim Richmond makes the move as the white flag is being unfurled by Harold Kinder. Richmond on the inside, headed for turn 1. Bodine is high, and it'll be Tim Richmond down in turn 1 by half a car length. Richmond has the horsepower coming down the straightaway, and he gets a little bit loose down in turn number 1. Bodine looks to the outside. Nothing there, and that side-by-side racing has allowed Rudd, Waltrip, and Allison to close up a bit on the 2-liter. They're headed for the tunnel turn. Jeff Bodine says it's not over until it's over. I've got another shot up in turn 3, so Bodine getting ready to make his move. He wants to pull the trigger, but Richmond has the advantage. 1.2 miles of racing left to go. Here's Bodine to the inside. Jeff Bodine takes it away in the short chute. The lead has already changed hands twice on this last lap. Bodine to the inside. Richmond is up alongside. If they come off the turn dead even, it'll be the drag race down the straightaway. Here's Ricky Rudd. Rudd drafts off Bodine and jumps to the inside. They leave Bodine in their wake, and it's Richmond and Rudd across the finish in a
Out in front, Rick Wilson, look at him. He maneuvers right behind Bill Elliott. I think he's going to have to
stay right there if he has a chance. White flag is out. One more lap. So now's the time. The last lap. If anybody's going to do anything, this is when it'll happen.
The guesswork is over. Wilson moves down out of his more familiar position of directly behind Elliott, tries a little bit on the low side. Remember, too, that depending on where they place their car relative to the car in front of them, then they can actually affect the handling of that car in front of them by spoiling the way air is coming off the back of the car. But look at Earnhardt. Earnhardt closes up behind Wilson and then has to fall back as Wilson makes his move down to the inside. He is alongside Bill Elliott. Wilson alongside, pushes a nose just ahead. Will this be the first victory for Wilson? Elliott is alongside now. Elliott forges ahead, and Elliott with a nose just ahead of Wilson at the line as they touch. Coming across the finish.
Right now, right on the bottom of the racetrack. Gant's the leader. He is one lap away from going to victory lane. Neil Bonnet is on his bumper. Terry Labonte and Lake Speed are right there. Terry hung right on the bottom of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. Neil Bonnet got a little bit high. Back straightaway, and it looks like Gant all the way. He's got the advantage. He really does. He gets up a little bit too high in turn 3. Here comes Bonnet. Gant comes down to the bottom, and they touch. Gant gets a little out of shape. He's on the outside, but here comes Bonnet. It is too close to call. I have no idea.
On the charge, going into the last lap. Elliott swings high. Going for turn 1. Elliott on the high side. Last lap. Schrader throws the block. Turn 1 at under 200 miles an hour. It's wide open to the finish now.
Here's where he has to make the move, Ken, but Kenny Schrader is doing a good job of using the racetrack in front of him, but now he has to make the move now as he goes down the backstretch.
Schrader jumps to the inside of the track. They had to try and shake him off. A trick we've seen done many times here before.
Good move.
Here comes Elliott, high side, looking on the high side, going all the way to the top. Coming down for the finish. Schrader on the bottom at number 90. Bill Elliott on the outside, coming down to finish the first 125. Elliott's there. Here comes Schrader back for the line. They're still side by side. It looks dead even. I think Schrader got it. Schrader made it. Schrader made it. Let's see it in replay, and we'll see if he really did win it.
Elliott seems to have the advantage about 100 yards away, but Schrader then cuts to the inside of the racetrack where he can get the most speed and just barely gets it by inches.
Let's go to victory lane with our colleague Chrissy Cotton.